TikTok is in wedding war mode.
I got kicked out of a former friend's bridal party.
You are the bitch that is asking your fucking friends to go to Greece for your bachelorette. Knock it off.
It becomes not just your day when you're asking people to use their PTO, to get pet care, to get childcare, and to spend money to get to your wedding.
You shouldn't have a cash bar and ask people for gifts.
Apparently, if you don't have an open bar, you hate your guests. If you do have an open bar, you're financially irresponsible. And if you've made it a cash bar, congrats, you've violated the Geneva Convention. TikTok decided. But at the end of the day, we're fighting the wrong battle because the open bar isn't the problem, wedding culture is. This video isn't just about the viral TikTok discourse, it's about how wedding culture has been hijacked by capitalism, clout, and trying to make like Benson Boone and not flip the fuck out. That joke was so bad, I'm sorry. I'll hang my hat. And look guys, I have been dying to talk about this topic because I have a bit of experience. Not only have I been a wedding guest, I've also been a bridesmaid. I have also planned a wedding, canceled a wedding, planned that wedding again, and then canceled it again. So I am qualified to speak on this topic. Yeah, I was born after 9/11. Does that make me crazy? Yes, I'm a product of my environment. What can I say? I feel like I've lived through at least 2 different J-Lo movies. So I canceled my wedding for the last time about a year ago. So now I feel like we're at a place where we can make jokes about it. Mazel tov! Is the best thing I've ever done. Girls, don't fall for it. Don't do it. Anyway, let's talk about why wedding culture is out of control and why, for most of you fuckers, a wedding is just the world's most expensive PR stunt. Welcome to Tyler's Kitchen, the world's first anti-cooking show where I talk about my interests, which include but are not limited to feminism, pop culture, history, and random shit I see on the internet with a few more jokes than is necessary and or appropriate. Today, I wanted to practice my piping technique. That's what he said. Today we're making like a mini wedding cake to see if I can like do pretty designs on it, you know? This is all I could find last night at like midnight when I was Instacarting from Walmart. Sorry. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove all of the, I've seen a girl on TikTok do that. That's how I know how to do this. I wanna get rid of these fugly sprinkles. Is this the circus in town? So you wanna abolish all the sprinkles. Why they all already came with sprinkles is beyond me, super annoying. Oh, I should get back to my video topic. Okay, the #1 offender of wedding culture is a fucking wedding vendor. Oh my God! Was planning a wedding the worst experience of my life because it was the worst choice I ever could have made for myself and I 100% should not have been even considering getting married? Yes! Is it also the worst experience of your life because it's the dumbest industry in the entire fucking world? Also, yes! Wedding vendors are some of the most self-important assholes in the entire world. There, I said it. If you're a wedding vendor and you're a fan of mine, I'm so sorry. I'm probably not talking about you, but if any of these things apply to you, this is something I have a hard time moving past.
Oh no, another pesky pimple.
Don't fret, darling. Introducing Della Pella, the revolutionary solution that's as easy as pie is for some other people. Formulated with doctor-approved, science-backed ingredients, Della Pella targets acne from within, giving you that radiant glow in just 90 days. Say goodbye to blemishes and hello to confidence. Order Della Pella today and step into a brighter, clearer tomorrow. Like, planning a wedding today feels less like putting a little party together and more like applying to fucking Harvard just to get a quote on if said wedding photographer in your area is available and in your price range. You have to inquire. In this form, you have to write like a 5-paragraph essay on how you guys met, submit photos together so that they can check if you're hot enough. You have to tell them about like your favorite dessert, your favorite vacation together. I was like,
Hi, lovebirds. Before we move forward, please answer this 36-part questionnaire. I want to know about your astrological compatibility, your first impressions of each other, and your fave position.
it's like, are you taking photos of us or are you trying to join our relationship? We're not looking for a third bitch. And then when you finally get the pricing, they call it the investment. Like, oh, this is the self-important bullshit that just grinds my gears.
An investment? Shut the fuck up!
The most that is happening to the photos you take, the very most that will happen is I will make a coffee table book that nobody will ever look at. Be so for real. I'm doing this for Instagram likes. And unless they get published in Vogue, and then Vogue comes to me and is like, your mind is so beautiful, we want you to be the new creative director, that is the only way that you could possibly call that an investment. Okay, there are sprinkles everywhere. How am I gonna get rid of this many sprinkles? Sprinkles are like herpes, they just get everywhere. Okay, so I kind of want to make this like double tiered like a wedding cake would be. So I need to like cut this into a smaller piece, you know? But I feel like I just cut this one to be even too small, so that is gonna be an issue. So if I go like this, now I've got a smaller, I do this just to piss you guys off, just so you know. Wow, this is beautiful what you've done with the place, girl. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled programming. I was so locked in this morning, I don't know how this happened. Was this actually one of the veils I had for my wedding? Yes, should we do a giveaway for it? Comment if you want me to do a wedding veil giveaway, I'll sign it. In small towns, this whole vendor process is even worse because it's never like a person who's honed in on their craft for years. It's never a person with a business background. It's never a person who really knows what they're doing. More often than not, it's a woman who sort of had a knack for crafts. And then her friends were like, wow, maybe you should become a florist. And she was like, I think so. I think so. So now you're dealing with somebody who has no idea how to operate a business, who you text, you're like, hey, I was just wondering, can I have an update on my quote? And they respond like, sorry for the delay, I'm in my personal era. Or the photographers, always posting stories like, do not ask me where your photos are. I am going through a lot right now. Bitch, I just paid you $20,000 to photograph my special day. I just invested into you. If you're gonna post that passive aggressive fucking story about don't bug me, honestly, I will tell you to shove it up yours. The most weddings you're doing is one a weekend. Manage your time better. You are charging $20,000. I do not want to be shamed for asking for a progress update. I just had the biggest day of my life. If I'm excited to see my damn photos and you make me feel bad about them, I'm going to come punt you across the aisle. That got aggressive, sorry. I'm gonna put that on top of this so the sprinkles don't get their herpes all over everything. Wedding videographers be like, hey guys, I'm unplugging for a week to go back to selling LuLaRoe. Please don't inquire about anything. I just feel like I shouldn't have to emotionally manage my vendors. Why am I consoling you while I'm just trying to book my fucking centerpiece? Oh, and God forbid you say the word wedding. A $200 floral arrangement has suddenly become a $2,000 investment. And it's not because it's bigger, it's not because it's fancier, it's because it is entering holy matrimony. A 2016 study from Consumer Reports found that 28% of vendors quoted a higher price for weddings compared to otherwise identical events. Okay, so now I'm taking extra frosting and I'm gonna recover it. See, I thought ahead. I see it does not have a good color match, so that's sort of awkward. I can fix her, don't even fret. Ooh, can I? Ooh. Why is this just picking up cake and moving it everywhere? I've just barely begun and I'm already pissed. Why is it this difficult? Ugh. This cake is so thin. You're gonna wanna palm your cake very delicately and get it everywhere. That's the true step to this. Now I've gotta come back with a vengeance. This thing is going to be covered in white frosting, whether it wants to be or not. God, I'm a disaster. How many of you guys are actually even here to watch me cook? Like, be real. Is this just a gimmick that I only think is funny? Because if so, I will fucking stop because this is pissing me off. Why don't I just sit at a desk and report on what Mr. Beast did like everybody else? The US wedding industry hit $63.4 billion in 2024, and it's projected to grow 7% every year after. This is weird because I feel like, why are people getting married? I thought there was a male loneliness epidemic. Maybe the people who are getting married are spending more money on it to flex that they are advancing the species. Okay, so we've covered this cake in frosting and it has crumbs all over it and looks worse. So the girl on TikTok who told me to do this, go f yourself. So we've made a way bigger mess and it looks worse. Okay. Sorry, I like need to name 3 things I'm grateful for. Okay, let's see. So I bought piping bags because now we're getting kind of serious. And I want to learn how to pipe. Any takers? Just kidding. I have a long-term, low-distance, non-committal situationship that I am very loyal to. If my memory serves me correctly, we're gonna need to cut this with scissors. I feel like we don't have that, so I'm just gonna like use a knife and like chop it. Oh, clearly my frosting is not firm enough to hold a shape. But you can see where I'm going on the decoration of this, right? If I felt like it were worth the time, I would try and thicken my frosting so it held a shape, but life has kind of been beating me down lately, so I'm just gonna do this. But let's not forget the other side of this. Being a guest used to be so simple. You'd show up with a card, do the Cupid shuffle, and get out of there by 11. But now being a guest means taking PTO, booking a flight, and prepping like it's the Met Gala. Being a guest now is a literal lifestyle. It feels like an unpaid internship. And this is exactly why bridesmaid for hire is a thing now. And honestly, that seems like a service to your friends if you're gonna do a giant wedding in Italy with a bachelorette in Scottsdale and you want it to look like a Pinterest crazy dream. You absolutely should do your friends the favor of hiring a bridesmaid. If your family is incredibly high drama and you're a bridezilla, for some people that's probably the best way to save their friendships at this time. Okay, so there's piping bag number one. Really beautiful design. You can see it really symbolizes the love that this couple has for each other. So we're gonna go in with another piping bag because I wanna try a different type. So I wanna thicken up this frosting. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dump some powdered sugar in it and hope that that does what I want it to. According to Bankrate, the average wedding guest spent $611 per wedding in 2024. And for destination weddings, it's over $1,600. And honestly, I think that's underplaying it. People will deadass look you in the eyes and be like,
"We're getting married in Italy this summer."
I mean, based on what I've seen y'all posting on Instagram, the $1,600 is not covering the matching team bride swimsuit, which, by the way, they always will be like, oh, and you can wear it again. This is like bride, and the shape is so awful. The shape is that shape is flattering on no one. The mansion Airbnb, the 32 cases of White Claw.
1 in 10 couples doubled their original wedding budget. 76% of wedding couples spent more on food and drinks than planned. 1 in 6 ultra luxury wedding couples spent over $3 million.
Oh wait, I feel like I added too much powdered sugar and now it's becoming like fondant. This is so stupid, I hate it. Guys, I don't know why I'm doing this much of a half-assed job. I'm sorry. I don't know what's coming over me that's like the demon whispering in my head to like tank this on purpose. This is like the sugar cookie project all over again. I think there's like evil voices in my head that are like, just ruin it. Just don't even try. And this is probably the same voice that tells men to cheat on their families. You should do it. You should ask that 19-year-old to go to dinner with you. But in my head, it's like, you should put more powdered sugar in the thing. So that's probably not a good comparison. I mean, that $1,600 is not covering the custom bedazzled Stanley, the team bride, the bride squad Stanley you had to get, the 20 different themed outfits for the 20 different themed bride parties. I mean, here's the thing. I am literally such a cheerleader. I love celebrating my friends. But if any one of them told me that, like, people are inventing events for weddings. There are multiple days with different activities that you have to have different themed outfits for. It's not just the bachelorette anymore. There are like pre-bachelorette get-togethers. There's like a bridesmaid announcement party sometimes. The things the girls on TikTok are inventing are getting so far-reaching. Girl, your wedding isn't even a celebration anymore. It's just a corporate retreat with better lighting. Let's try with our new frosting and see what happens. Ooh, cute. This looks much better, gang. Really cute, okay. This is beautiful. And guys, don't even get me started on guest etiquette. And this is one of the big things that people are bitching about on TikTok these days. Brides will come on TikTok and have an absolute bitch fit because somebody didn't RSVP instantly. There's always a new wedding hashtag and a photo booth and download this app and come to this pre-event. It's like Coachella for people who own a Cricut.
Put a finger down if you've ever had someone you consider one of your close friends decline your invitation to your wedding because they couldn't afford it and they didn't want to miss out on opportunities in New York to only see them 4 days days after your wedding, showing up in the same city with a group of people you've never seen before.
And like, again, I want to be supportive, but wedding culture is just out of control. And also, what about your single friends? Like, this is so financially insane for people who are already living alone. Like you have had a partner probably for the last 5 years to be splitting all of these line items with, and you're asking your single friend to fly to Italy, provide accommodation, do all of this. And it's kind of under the assumption that one day you'll do the same thing for them. But more and more, women are like, I don't really want to get married. Like, I don't want to do all this. It's kind of ridiculous. I feel like Gen Z is starting to think that weddings are cringe because social media has absolutely outdone themselves. Or your parent friends, the people deep in their my toddler has RSV and just swallowed a penny era. These people can't just drop $800 to fly to your weekend wedding in Tulum. And then for these bridezillas to come out and make a video talking about how unsupportive their friend group is because of it. If I were to do a destination wedding, it would be exactly because I wouldn't want people to come. I would feel really sick if people that were on like the medium friend list came to my destination wedding, because I would be like, oh, literally you weren't supposed to do that. This wasn't for you. The whole point was because I wanted to invite everybody, but I didn't want anybody to come. Like, you better have just made this a stop on a trip you were already going on, you know? All of us want to go travel and vacation, but not under the pretense of I'm doing it for your wedding. That sounds so selfish and shitty, but you know what I mean.
Zola recently surveyed more than 2,500 guests to find out how they're getting ready for weddings this year. Survey participants reported that on average, they've been invited to 5 weddings and plan to attend at least 4 of them. These guests report feeling broke during this year of record inflation. One of the guests interviewed reported spending over $12,000 to be a guest this year.
Because it's not one day. It's an engagement party, a bridal shower, a bachelorette weekend, a rehearsal dinner, a welcome party, a farewell brunch. And the bachelorette party used to be one night before the wedding, and now it's a whole weekend in a different city. I think if you have more than 5 wedding-related events, you should be providing healthcare and benefits to your maid of honor. Wow, this is like the most beautiful wedding cake ever. Wow, this is stunner gorgeous. Now I'm kind of adding like embellishments to the top. Guys, should I get out the Airhead Extremes? That's like my white flag surrender, is when I pull out the Airhead Extremes that I just have randomly in the cabinet. And the super villain behind all of the capitalist brain rot slop when it comes to weddings is social media. Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, they've all created this pressure cooker of perfection. The perfect champagne tower, the beautiful flat lay invite suite, the drone footage as you walk down the aisle so that you can look like a bachelor contestant on the final night. The average cost of a wedding in 2025 cost $36,000. And even I was trying to do like a shitty didn't care wedding because I really was getting so triggered when people asked me about my wedding. I had this gut feeling that it was the worst choice ever. So I was like trying to do it as fast as possible. Nobody talk about this. Nobody ask about this. I don't want to do this. Even that was going to be like well over $10,000. At this point, you're not just planning a party, you're planning a brand launch. I think social media has exposed us to the finer things. It's created this illusion that we should all be spending $100,000 on our wedding. Custom calligraphy, 30-foot floral arches, glassware imported from France. And I'm sorry, but if your name is not carved into a university building, you probably shouldn't ask about floral arches. We're not all royalty. Some of us are just girls with Etsy accounts and dreams. But social media just consistently makes us lose the plot so much that it's like embarrassing to just be normal.
According to a study by Zola, 48% of couples say the biggest pain they deal with when wedding planning is managing expectations of what they could afford versus their inspiration.
So true, because you get down the wedding content pipeline and you're like, I would be embarrassed to not have a DJ. Oh, and I would be embarrassed to have a cash bar. I simply can't not have a cocktail hour with special bites. And then your budget just suddenly is double whatever you set aside. A new stat found that 28% of couples went into credit card debt for their wedding. And I'm sorry, like, usually I feel like you should be more worried about like buying a house at this point. You spent what is a sizable down payment so that you could have custom napkins with your dog's face on them at your wedding. Good night. I want Bradley on a budget to show up to your wedding. I just feel like weddings are literally peak consumerist slop. Like, how have we made an event to sell hashtag team bride, flasks, Stanley cups, swimsuits, fans, earrings. This is an event solely created so that girls could hawk crap on Amazon storefront.
To be real, bridesmaid proposals can be very chuggy and very basic. So here are some cool, unique ideas. Newspaper bouquet, engraved perfume, personalized hairbrush, reusable eye patch moment, personalized handkerchief. This is a cute, unique like card idea. This is another cute card idea. Personalized matchbook.
Some of these women are creating beautiful events and they literally just need to go get a creative director internship. Me personally, I am so glad that I exercised the feminine need to plan a wedding at the ripe age of 21 years old, because now it's out of my system. I don't feel like I need to settle for some loser so that I can make my grandma be quiet and throw a wedding. Because now I understand it is one of the worst trials a person can go through. I exercise that out of me like a stomach bug, but with more tool. With my conservative upbringing and also the weird shift in culture going more conservative, I feel the pressure of like, girl, if he doesn't propose to you by Christmas, he does not love you. If he's not trying to put a ring on it, he does not love you, girl. So all your friends are married. When are you gonna get married? When are you gonna do your big day? But like, girl, maybe I don't wanna marry someone just so I can get a donut wall and a wedding hashtag. This is gonna sound super jaded and bitchy, but my new take is that when I see someone having enough time to plan a wedding, I assume that things have gotten kind of boring. Because when I was planning a wedding, it was so nice to distract me from how awful my life was at the time. And now, the thought of planning what I'm doing Saturday night makes me so stressed out. I think weddings are beautiful and people having them, like, it's great. I love supporting my friends. I think it's a great thing, but every once in a while, good to take a step back and realize that this is literally just a stupid made-up event to make you feel inferior and buy lots of crap. So thanks for watching. I now pronounce you deeply skeptical of the wedding industrial complex. And here's the finished product. Let me know, would you say I do to this cake? It's pretty beautiful. No need to do a taste test because I already ate the other one. I feel sick to my stomach. And if you like this video, please give it a share on Instagram. I love seeing you guys on stories last week. I always swipe up and I appreciate the support so much. I'll see you in the next one.